saddest probably time of my life because all I had to do was call. I worked there, but when I quit because I was having children, and but I could call Miss Agatha Melissa, she's in the guest room, and I'd call her and I'd say, I need this or that. My daughter's getting married. She'd fix it for me.
And it would be ready.
She knew what I needed, what size, everything. I'd just go pick it up.
Oh wow.
You can't do that anymore.
Oh no, I can't. I can't think of anywhere you could just order what you.
Just order. I need
a pair of pants.
I need the shoes and the bag to match, if you don't mind, Miss Agatha, and you know, the slip and everything, and I just go pick it up.
Wow.
it's,
yeah,
you miss things like that, you know.
Yeah.
You just
neat.
don't have it. And it was such a.
Were there any other like things that were just, I don't know, more convenient in Rain at the time? Like, I mean,
well, we had
things delivered. You know,
our meats. You could order at the butcher. Mr. Batson, Richard.
Yeah.
You could order your meat. It was delivered. Mr. Johnson.
Eggs or like stuff.
Yeah,
you could just get it.
And they'd ride their bicycle, and they had it in their basket, and they deliver, you know, to us.
Oh wow!
And I mean, that's so long ago. You don't, you know, I can remember that.
Yeah.
I guess that stopped probably when I was in junior high.
Yeah, because I grew up in Scotland, and till I was 12.
We Irish.
Huh?
We are Irish.
Oh yes.
Well, the Wingates are Scot-Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My great-grandfather had beautiful hair like you. Yeah.
Yeah, my great grandfather has had red hair. That's the only other.
And he had a beautiful name, James Stafford.
Very just Scots-Irish kind of.
You know, my baby was born with red hair, and I just thought, well, great. But it became, you know, lighter, and then it became blonde. And now she's got the, you know.
My mom said I was born blonde, but I got the red hair.
It's pretty.
Came in. And yeah, when I was a kid, like, you know, milk. We got milk at the door and eggs. You know. And then they stopped doing that. Yeah, the glass bottles, and you returned the bottles. You would just leave it out. Even when I was a kid, I remember that. Then Scotland, they used to do it. It was neat. That was in the 80s, though. So.
Yeah.
But then they stopped it, I think, in the late 80s. So I remember, I mean, that. And I remember how much my mom loved having that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And I mean, I can see how you'd miss stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was the country eggs.
Yeah, good eggs.
Yeah,
fresh.
That was better to make anything you wanted to make.
Oh, yeah. They're not frozen, you know,
right.
refrigerated for hours.
You're right. It's not like what we get today.
No.
But
when did you see your first television? Do you remember?
In the early 50s. Let's see. Probably was 13. I know I'd watch the Grand Ole Opry on Saturdays before I go to the youth center. So I was 13 when I started going to the youth center. So I guess that was the 50s. 49, yeah, 50s, 52, something like that, because I graduated in 59.
Oh, okay. Well, how many channels did you have?
2.
2 channels.
And always was round, just a little round.
A little black and white round thing. Yeah. Do you remember any important developments in Rain? Like something that came to town, or something that maybe influenced, I don't know, how the downtown changed? I mean, other than, you know, of course, Mervyn Kahn.
Well, we always had the business with the frogs. You know, Jacques Wall.
Right.
That was, we're going to celebrate the Frog Festival this weekend.
When did that close? Do you remember? I'm not sure. They told us. I can't remember.
I don't remember the.
It's not important, really.
No, but you know, I wished I could. I wished I knew I was coming out of kind of because there's a couple of books out on that, the Jacques Wall family and the frogs, and because my son-in-law is the mayor of town.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jimbo Pettijoh.
Huh.
And he would have kind of given me a little bit of, but I guess it's better just to kind of remember.
He probably has a good bit of background knowledge.
I'm sure he does, yeah.
All right. Did the highway influence rain a lot?
Yes.
When it came through?
Yeah, it helped.
It helped with the traffic.
Yeah.
Now, had the train stopped making the stops in rain at that
when did
at
that
point?
stop? It would still pick up the mail when I was working at Mervine's. I believe they still had a depot.
Oh, okay.
So that was in. Oh, I might be just thinking. I can remember that last car picking up that mail, that bag of mail. Maybe I'm just imagining, but I can
Probably.
remember it because I can remember the depot.
Right. Because they said. I mean, I was talking to the other lady, and she said, she really noticed it when the depot went away.
It's like, there's a good picture of the depot on my brother-in-law's Jack Curry, the jewelry store.
Oh, okay.
On that side, it's a nice picture.
Oh well, I guess let's talk about your Mervyn Kahn experiences.
That was fun.
What was your first memory of Mervyn Kahn?
Walking in and being introduced to Miss Maud Addison.
And what did she do?
She ran the front. She was like, she'd been there for so long. So she was like the one that told me what I had to do, or told anybody in the dry goods.
Oh, okay.
Dry goods was like the material department.
Right.
Okay. And that's where I worked.
Oh.
Not very good at it, I want you to know. Because I was so afraid of her. And I didn't want to make a mistake. And I was just telling my cousin, I said, it looks like when they said they wanted a yard of material, I'd always either jip them an eighth or give them too much. Because Miss Marta was always watching me,
Yeah, I know. I hate being watched when you're working.
She watched.
Oh.
And yet, if she liked you, she liked you. And if she didn't, she didn't. And I got her onto it. I mean, she liked me. But anyway, I didn't stay that long.
No?
In the dry goods,
When did you start?
59.
59.
The summer of 59.
And where'd you go from there? From
the dry goods?
Mm-hmm.
I went upstairs in the office.
Oh, okay. Like the bookkeeping?
Yeah.
Things like that?
I pick up, well, you don't know, but Mervyn Kahn's had their sales was done, and then you put the slips in a little container and you flip it up and it would go upstairs.
Right.
And they would take that copy and bring it to the office, and my copy I would pick up at the dry goods, the women's department, the men's department, and the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd tally all of those, get it, correct, and then bring it to the office. That was my job.
So you tallied all the sales?
Yes.
And that was by hand?
Yes. I think my last year or two.
They had
yeah.
Count, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't hard. When I first got the job and I thought it was going to be, I'm nervous, and I always was kind of. It's being. I think it's always, never having just anybody to share your life with. It was all I was a loner.
Right.
But anyway, I got along good, and Mr. Deberval, which worked upstairs, liked me, and I liked him, and if I'd have a mistake or something, I'd go in his office and knock, and I'd tell him, I just can't catch this, I can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd say,
but
he's the sweetest man.
He ran the. Did he run the? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he ran this upstairs department.
Hmm.
I was afraid to death of Mr. Janko.
What did he do?
He was like he was the boss.
Oh, okay. Now he was like in charge of the whole store?
Right.
Okay.
He had married into the family.
Ah, into the con.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I worked there from 59 to 63, almost 64. And it's the last year that I realized that he wasn't mean at all. He was a very nice man.
Oh, he just was very business.
Because he had to run so many, it's women, except men department, they had Clemens, 3 or 4 men, and then the hardware, but you know, I guess he had to run it a certain way.
Right.
And one time he called me in, and he, you know, when I changed departments and I went upstairs, he said, "We have decided, Peggy and I, that you can't sell anything." And I just looked at him and I said, "Not too good." He said, "Because you won't sell them anything that you don't like." And I said, "No, sir." He said, "That's not a good salesman."
All right.
So he said, "We're going to put you upstairs."
You don't agree with their taste.
I'd say, you know, they say, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, I don't think you should. That's not the point."
That's no good. You don't want this.
And he said that wasn't the way to sell.
That's not the way to sell. Yeah.
So, and he said, "I know you're afraid of me." And he said, "I don't know why." He said, I'm not what you think I am. You know.
Right.
And from that time on, we were really good friends. Because when I went and tell him that I had to quit because I was going to have a set of twins, then he said, "We're going to miss you. We really miss you." You know. Oh,
so when did you quit? Was it after your first child or?
No,
I took third.
I took a 7 weeks to have, you know, when I had Kimala.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back to work, and needless to say, she was 7 months old when I got pregnant again.
Oh boy.
And I worked until I was about 4 months pregnant, and then I couldn't handle being, you know, getting ready to have another child, and when they told me it was twins, you know,
a little stressed.
That was a little stressed. So I had to quit, but I would visit. That's how much I loved.
Yeah, but
it was like a family.
But you still shop there.
Yes.
All the time.
Oh yeah, and I'd bring my kids. Any chance I had, I'd bring the kids for them to see my children. We were family.
Right.
Everybody that worked there we were.
Well, like you said, I mean, you could tell them what you needed, and they had the size.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything, anything.
So, what did Mervyn Comp? I mean, what did they sell? I mean, what
they sold?
What did they sell? Everything.
I'm gonna start from the back.
Okay.
Children's clothes. Anything and everything. Buster Brown, you know, your good name brand clothes.
Buster Brown, was it?
Yeah.
One of the brands, huh?
You can't find that today, I don't believe.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Then we had the drapery department. Then we had the shoe department. Variety of shoes. I never had a check. I had an IOU every time. Then you had the dry goods. That was the material. And the